pretty move. He felt the Pacer defense when they didn't come and get him. He put it to them.
And this is important. Now's the time for the Colonels to keep stretching that lead, and soon the Pacers will say, well, we got another game Saturday.
57-43, the Colonels. Hillman. Tipped around. Simon with a great effort, and Mike Gale gets it. This is Simon again, baseline jumper. We're in the first minute of the third quarter. Kentucky on top. Lewis driving. Gilmore goes down. McGinnis gets the basket.
Good kicking going on out there, too, now that they're getting the field attention.
15 points for George McGinnis. McGinnis and Simon have scored in the second half. Dampier. Gale forces Freeman to his left. Dampier stepped around. Now Daniels is trying to get it. Mel Daniels rolls it in, makes it 57-46. He now has 9. And Artis Gilmore helps against the press.
They've got to get Artis back underneath the basket where he's dangerous and can put the pressure on Daniels. If he's not too far, he can't recover back. There he goes.
No call. They say Daniels blocked it clean. Lewis now with the basketball. Daniels. Freeman. And Lloyd Dampier comes down with it. Heave-ho to Mike Gale. Gale to Issel. Issel stuffs it. And Hillman and Freeman are left standing. 16 points for Issel. Nice feed by Mike Gale.
They're running, Howard. When they're running, they're good. I'm telling you, the Pacers are crashing 4 men on the boards, and they can get the ball out. A guard got the ball out that time. Dampier got the ball out. The officials are on top of the play.
Don Freeman with 7, 59-48, 9.5 in the third stop. Walking. Lewis, number 14. And knocked out of bounds. The Pacers will keep it.
You have to admire the Pacers for one thing. Though they're down, they keep moving the ball around as if they were ahead. And that's what makes them such a tough ball club, Howard.
McGinnis tips it in underneath. He has 17, 59-50. Joe Mulaney brings Ron Thomas up off the bench. Nice feed from Simon to Gilmore. Cy was waited until he was two-teamed, then an Artist went down the middle and laid it in ever so gently. 61-50.
Excuse me, Howard. Lewis grabbed a hold of him a little bit there. He called it. He complained to an official, and I tell you, perhaps he might have done, if he had done more of this year, it might have meant more. Right now, they're just ignoring it because they feel like they're doing their best game, or they wouldn't be working the championship game.
They go to Gilmore in low, and that little half hook is there. No way Mel Daniels, who's giving away about 5 inches, can stop it. 17 for Gilmore. 63-50, 8.5 in the third quarter. Lewis challenged underneath, shoveled it out to Darnell Hillman. McGinnis as the Pacers keep the basketball. Lewis trying to get the foul to no avail. Daniels.
Must be frustrating for those two big fellas to take dead aims at one another. Artis can't stop that shot, and Daniels can't stop Artis' hook shot.
Daniels now with 11, 63-52. And Artis challenging Daniels to come out and get him. Issel. Freeman, the baseline move with Mike Gale defending. Daniels right there, and a whistle before the basket. Daniels will have one.
be a big factor, Howard. The Colonels now have 4 fouls on them, and the Pacers haven't got any at all. All of a sudden, you know, they'll be in that bonus situation.
They go to Gilmore low. And there's some pretty good head knocking going on out there. Nothing but Pacers in underneath, and Lewis is on the move with Gale defending. The basket 3 to 54.
That's 4 fouls on Mike Gale, and with his speed, they'll need him. They can't afford to lose him tonight because he's the quickest guard the Colonels have.
Lewis with 11. The Pacers back to within 8 at 63-55. 7 minutes in the third quarter. Daniels reaching in on Gilmore. Now pressure from the Colonel guards. Gilmore 18 points. Pacers will be in the penalty situation with the next foul. The Colonel's 4 away. Freeman tried to give it off underneath, and Dampier got in the way and got it. So Louis is sagging back nicely and helping out the big guys.
That was a good defense from the Colonels. That's their way they like to play the defense, Howard.
And again, the running pays off in a field goal. This time, Mike Gale cans it. 66-55, 6:20, third quarter. Thomas helping out. Lewis over his shoulder to Daniels, who slams it.
Everyone wants to be a postman. They're all floating in there trying to get the ball low. That time was a great pass to Daniels, and he dunked it. And he won the show artist. He could dunk it, too.
13 points for the New Mexico grad, 66-57. 6 minutes in the third quarter. A lot of bodies flying underneath, and Daniels wrestles it away. Mike Gale knocked it loose, and Ron Thomas gobbled it up. Issel free, gets it from Gale, and misses it. McGinnis the other way. Thomas knocks it away. Lewis. And Gilmore was clobbered underneath.
I like to have had it, and it was soft pass, and then I think sometimes you think, well, should I use the board or shouldn't I? But every high school or college kid knows you always use the board whenever you possibly can. It's an aid because you get tense, you're tired when you go up.
Mike Gale goes down. Freddie Lewis has it for the Pacers. Freeman with a drive. Gilmore the rebound. 3-on-3. Gale, Dampier, and Issel, and Gale pulls up and pops. And he has running and just run. And when you get tired, worry about that when the time comes and bring somebody in to help you. That young man right there apparently has voiced some displeasure in playing for the Pacers. He's been after the media and perhaps not been treated as well as he should. He was drafted by Philadelphia of the NBA, and there have been some rumblings, ever so faint, that he might try to get out of his contract with the Pacers. No harm, and Ron Thomas lays it in, and Artis was just not watching, and the ball hit the floor, and Mel Daniels couldn't control it. So the Colonels get a big break.
I'd rather be lucky than good. That was a lucky basket.
70-58. Freeman drives in, gives it off to McGinnis, who lays it home. 3 men around the ball, and Donnie Freeman that time. 20 points now for McGinnis. 70-60. Ron Thomas with a drive, shovels it off to Issel, who's run down by Hillman. Gale. Hillman the rebound, and somebody's all alone. It's McGinnis. .62. 3:50 in the third quarter. McGinnis with 22. Issel over Hillman. So, John, it looked like nobody wanted the ball there for a while for the Colonels, but Issel said, I'll take it.
Well, the play was designed to get the ball to Dan. That's what when they set up on the left side of the court. And Dan finally got it and took the good shot. Not a good shot, but made the shot. Let's put it that way.
The Pacers get 2 shots. make one. 72-64, and Joe Mullaney wants to call time. 73-64 as we tick down to the 3-minute mark in the third period. Lewis with the basketball, and now they sag completely off of Hillman. Freeman drives in under. The basket will count. 73-67. Joe Mullaney calling out the foreplay. With a drive, and he puts it up, no good. Gilmore with a tip, Gilmore again. So Artis kept it alive with the first one, put it in with the second. 75-67. He has 19 now. Freeman in, Gilmore blocked. But there was a foul called before, and not Artis Gilmore.
Artis made such a clean block. I couldn't see how he was near the man, and I felt that it had to be on Thomas, because now Thomas is getting excited, and he's forgetting now he's one away from elimination of play.
This is the penalty for Don Freeman. University of Illinois. He has 9, 75-69, 2:20 in the third stop. Again, Freeman reaches in and takes the intentional. 76-69, Kentucky. And Freeman is the guy that's been taking charge of everything. Knocked around Hillman. Lewis, a 3. 76-72-14 for Fritz Lewis. And that one hit everything and then took a good bounce for Louis and puts the crowd back on their seats. 15 for Dampier, 78-72, minute and a half in the third period. McGinnis sends Issel into the cheap seats and now ties him up, and they say jump ball.
Look at this now. McGinnis knows he can't get the tip from Artis, so he'll go up on it quick. He'll gamble. If he gets it and they don't call it, fine. If they do call it, he figures he would have lost the tip anyway. I bet he jumps way ahead of McGinnis, way ahead of Artis.
McGinnis 6'8", Gilmore 7'2". We'll see if he hits it clean. Freeman. Kentucky. Just over a minute to go in the third quarter. Artis from straight away, it's off the mark. McGinnis controls it.
They're giving Artis a shot, and they're giving Ron and Gale a shot. The only ones they're concentrating on are Dan and Artis.
Freeman again along the baseline. And Kentucky leading by 4. And it comes to Artis. Mike Gale with 5. Gale, a baseline drive, and a charge on Mike Gale. Keller will inbounds, 2 seconds. And they throw a bullet to Freddie Lewis. Lewis, a 3 off the mark. Daniels and Gilmore, Kentucky 80, Indiana 76. Issel for the Colonels. This is game 6. Indiana leads 3-2. "15 seconds on the 30-second timer. They've got to get one up. 6 seconds. Gilmore to Issel, and Issel puts it in as O'Brien had it knocked away by Daniels. O.B. got it back, and Artis found a cutting Issel for 2. 20 for Dan.
That was great ball movement and looking for the open man. Now, this is what tells from here.
McGinnis, who's having a field day in underneath. Tipped around, and Issel has it. Dampier on the move. Louis takes it. He gets it. 84-76 as the Colonels get the first 4 of the quarter. Dampier with 19. We've played 1 minute of the final period. Keller driving in. Issel with a block. Thomas to O'Brien. Dampier. And the Colonels have scored 6 straight, and Bob Leonard has seen it. Thomas scraps back to get on George McGinnis. They're going to McGinnis now.
That's it.
Issel steals it from McGinnis. Dampier races down and checks the defense. O'Brien.
Hit it.
It goes in. And the Colonels have hit 4 straight without the Pacers denting the scoreboard. 88-76, 10-15 in the game.
And the Pacers can't believe it. You know why, Howard? That time there were 2 of them still down behind the middle of the court. They were waiting for someone else to pick them up, just like there.
Jimmy O'Brien wants it. It rims. Daniels for the rebound.
Man, that would have been a big one.
88-76, under 10 minutes now. Freeman with O'Brien defending, and you see Issel coming over to help out. There's the guy they're sagging off of, Hillman.
That's all.
Robert Louisville, and he seemed to know his history, and yet said the guy wasn't that good a basketball player, and that amused many of the Colonel followers.
Well, I think time will tell that Ron is going to be a pretty good ball player in this league. Right now, you got to remember he's still a rookie, and
McGinnis undresses Dan Issel and tries
underneath the basket to try to get position on him and get that 6th foul.
The Colonels lead by 12 with 9:25 to play, and it's George McGinnis again, and Dan Issel is on Big George. Dan Issel blocked.
So far, and I think that the officials know when you're really putting it on or when you really take a blow. And that time, Dan didn't really take a blow. He was, like all players, when they get a little tired, he was asking for a little help, and it didn't come.
McGinnis is the leading scorer in the playoffs for the Pacers, averaging just over 23 a game. He has already eclipsed that tonight with 26. Again, Daniels comes out to test Gilmore. And Artis looking for help, 10 seconds on the timer. They've got to get one up, 2 seconds. Gilmore's shot rolls in, and they just beat the 30-second timer.
Just made it.
And, John, they've been getting some nice friendly rolls on the rim to our right.
Well, tonight the ball was bouncing right for the Colonels and has been bouncing thus far. It goes back to what we've said many a time. I'd rather be lucky than good.
Gilmore is attacked in the backcourt.
Now the officials have to be careful.
8:20 to play. Kentucky leads by 13. That is the most they have led by in this game. O'Brien starts to the hoop, and then he's double-teamed and gives off to Issel. Issel and O'Brien exchange, and O.B. at the top of the key is looking for the open man. The pass in underneath.
8 minutes ago is a long time. I'd rather see him take a good shot and then play good defense. Once you stop running, it's like trying to start a cold car. It's tough to start running.
Lewis underneath to Daniels, who positions in, but the shot won't fall. Gilmore gets it, the fingers in the eye. Back to live action. Issel shoots an air ball, and Roger Brown gets it. So the last 2 times down, the Colonels have not hit the rim.
Should be making hay now.
Brown a 3. O'Brien to Dampier, who's free. And there is the danger of crashing the boards, and Bob Leonard wants to stop it here.
That holler, that high voice of Joe's carries a long way. And then another thing, they kind of expect it, certain situations come up, they expect it to happen, and they expect to hear his voice. And they look for him, and when they see him, they can tell he's saying something.
Freeman trying to post on O'Brien. Block Gilmore into the seats. And there's the danger of one man controlling the ball too much. Everybody in the basketball arena knows who wants to shoot it. And when the guy's 7'2", he's going to stop you.
Well, they're working Freeman on O'Brien now because O'Brien is small.
Daniels took a couple of cracks, but Gilmore came up with the loose ball. 6:45 to play. Kentucky leads by 15. Dampier And Louis goes down for the umpteenth time to put his heel to the point where he is up to 100%.
No, I know it has, and watching him oftentimes in playing defense, this is when you notice that when he's playing offense, he sets a tempo, but when he plays defense,
basketball, he played with the Cincinnati Royals. He was on the team, did not play a lot, but said he learned an awful lot from Oscar Robertson, an Indianapolis native. And he's put it to good use with his stint at Indiana. 94, 79, 6:25 to play. And Freeman is working over O'Brien, and OB is looking to referee John Vanek for some help. 10 seconds on the timer. They want to get a good shot. Issel and McGinnis. Gilmore gets it right back and stuffs it over Mel Daniels, who hammered him. 25 points for Artis Gilmore. 97-79 as we run down to the 6-minute mark. Keller scooting around on the floor. Daniels blocked Gilmore. O'Brien running. He has Simon and Issel out front. And Sy was on the out-of-bounds line. Less than 6 minutes to play. Kentucky leading by 18. Keller penetrating and pushing one in. And he is just a ball of fire coming up off the pine.
See, that time Louis was looking for help from Artis, but Artis was out of position, and Keller just had a nice, easy open push-up shot for the basket. But they got to cut down on errors now, and now they can start running the clock with 5 minutes to go.
Issel with a pretty hook. 99-81, 22 for the UK grad. 5:20 to play.
Also another good bounce, Howard.
McGinnis a 3. Daniels can build a home if he stays in there any longer. Daniels 2, and Gilmore goes down again. 89-83 with 5 minutes to go.
Colonels have the Pacers in foul trouble now. Now they can play with the ball a little bit, but they've got to get off to a good shot.
Gilmore shakes loose and puts it in. Assist to Jimmy O'Brien, who hung it up. 101-83, 26 for Artis. And Keller goes dancing around.
Every basket Indiana scores, they've got to get 3 points to the Colonels, too.
101-84. And the fans you hear hollering, "We're number one" in the background are the guys who drove up I-65 from the Louisville area. O'Brien from Gilmore, and an easy 2. That's, John, it looks like when you know you have them whipped, when you get a guard that can come down and go all the way and score like that.
Well, what happens is you get relaxed. You really don't pay any attention to the game. You're just worried about your own stuff. How did you do? What did you do? You think you look good to the newspapers, to the people back home, and consequently they just forgot about O'Brien. He's alert. That's Eastern style of basketball on a give and go, and he just took off and went. Big fella saw him. Easy 2 points.
We're under the 4-minute mark, and OB wants it himself. No good. Tipped around some more, and Mel Daniels has it. 3:45 to go.
You can look for a rash of 3-point attempts now.
They've got some guys that can shoot them. Keller puts one up. Issel the rebound. Game 7 of the ABA series will be played Saturday afternoon at Freedom Hall. We'll tell you more about that.
Well, I'm sure that if he has a competitiveness he had as an athlete, he'll come back. Let's hope that he plays next year, Howard.
Boosie, Arnson, Brown, and Johnson are in the game, and the only reason we can think of for this is that Bob Leonard hopes he can get his team running a little bit. Arnson, a seldom used forward, will be number 22. Johnson, 25 in the center. And Boosie, whose strong suit is defense. Gilmore from straight away. 105-84. 3 minutes to go.
I believe, Howard, that Leonard has given up and is just saving the troops for Saturday.
Johnson and Brown team up for 2. But it looks like it's just going to be a question of how many tonight, and come Saturday afternoon, it'll start all over again, and that will be the decider.
Well, tonight the Colonels did what we discussed before the game, Howard. Their defense has still been superb and great, but their offense tonight, they've got 105 points, which they didn't get in the last 3 games, or this series would have been over.
Jimmy O'Brien tested. His shot won't fall, and Gus Johnson is out of there, and O'Brien steals it from him. Busey knocks it away, and Issel comes after it, and Issel thought O.B. was cutting for the basket and throws it away. So we're going to get a look at the air.
Now they have to go back and face the Colonels at home, and you know there's going to be a lot of people in Louisville Saturday waiting to see the Colonels bring in that first ABA championship.
No question about that, John. If you want to meet the Colonels tonight, we would say about 2.5 hours after this one is over, their bus will pull into the area around the Executive Inn. 1:50 to go. Busey a 3. Johnson a rebound, and Johnson throws it around his shoulders and out of bounds. Rick Mount for Artis Gilmore, and this guy has responded tremendously tonight. Artis Gilmore. Artis, a brief moment on the bench. He leaves with 29. And look who's working in the post, Pierre Russell. Russ with a quick move to the hoop, and he throws it over everything, tipped out of bounds by Rick Mount.
Good time to get the shot troops in. You don't want anything to happen to Dan or to Artis.
Keller a 3. 105 to 89. Tickets again go on sale tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. at the Freedom Hall box office, which will be open until 9 tomorrow night. It will open again 9 a.m. Saturday, and season ticket holders' seats will be held until 9 p.m. Friday. The game is Saturday afternoon. Jimmy O'Brien backs in and puts up a shot that won't fall, and O.B. goes twisting around on the floor. He did a fine job, and our special thanks to Dave Vance and Tom Fesky, the PR directors of the Colonels and the Pacers. And John, this will be probably our final ball game. And again, I'd like to thank you for being a part of it all, and it's been good working with you.
Well, thank you, Howard. I really enjoyed every minute of it, and I only hope the fans enjoyed it as much as we did.
109 to 89 with 35 seconds on the clock, and the fans who have stuck by these Colonels all year.
For coming back after that, I thought for a moment that, that might have taken a lot of starch out of them. But, Howard, I like to say this before the year is over. Really, I think sometimes we've underestimated Joe Mullaney in this respect, that he has done a great job on the defense, and I think the offense, Virginia, especially against Carolina and the Indiana Pacers. So it's good to go back home, and I'm sure that Saturday afternoon, we'll be listening to y'all. Hope they pull it through.
Oh, Wendell pulling up from about 45 feet. And Wendell is smiling a little bit about that one. 10 seconds, all that's left in this one. Keller, a 2-pointer, they say. That's it.